Assalamu alaikum and hello viewers. Today I am going to present a new topics entitled Writing an Attractive Admission Proposal for Higher Study. This is particularly required for higher studies admission purposes. Sometimes it is also called Statement of Purpose, SOP. So what is the main purpose of admission proposal? So from the title, as you can see, for higher studies admission purpose, particularly for research-based masters and PhD admission requirement, this is one of the requirements that need to be submitted along with other necessary documents. This is also an opportunity. This is also the way to demonstrate that someone has knowledge on that specific topics. This also another way is to check the candidates how much knowledge they have, how much capability they have on the specific research topics, because PhD and masters by research is particular focus is on the research. So this is one way to check, to verify how much also knowledge they have, how much they spend the time, how serious they are to prepare this admission proposal. This also will demonstrate that these students is very serious. They have prepared some impressive documents, some good documents. As a result, this may also influence or convince the prospective supervisor that student has enough knowledge, student has done sufficient work, student has prepared the proposal in an appropriate way. A student really has spent good quality of time. So this certainly may reflect that student has prepared a good documents and may have some necessary knowledge and capability on that topics. This also, as you know, the work will be basically with the supervisors. So some initial agreement, meaning that these are the draft topics, tentative topics. You will be working with me. So this is also a sort of agreement. These are the content, these are the topic that you will be working. Okay, so this is good for both supervisor and students that made an initial agreement that these are topics, these are objectives, these are draft content that we will be working together. So preparation and plan is always very good. So I always would suggest to spend a lot of time to do the homework. So these are some of the ways to make a better preparation and plan. So since it is basically with the supervisor and student, so first of all, I would strongly suggest that please communicate with the prospective supervisors, particularly start discussion. What are the topics? What are the title? Okay, so sometimes maybe there are funded projects, sometimes maybe it is general project. So actually the supervisor knows what would be the right topics, what would be the draft topics, what would be the tentative topics. So that's why it is always wise to get more about the topics, start communicating with them, start discussion with them. Maybe supervisor also has some other team members, if it is possible, other PhD student, master students also start to communicate with them, start to be familiar with what is actually the projects, what are the content, relevant contents they already have. So another way also it can be by checking the profile of that supervisor. So his profile may be in Google Scholar, in Science Direct, in Scopus, okay, in the university website. So go and explore more about that supervisor. What are the topics? What are the other topics he or she work? Okay, and details of that supervisor's profile can be explored, and this basically will help you also to prepare a good proposal, because this will give you a good understanding what are the papers published, what are the area working, who are the students working, and what are their topics. Okay, and also it would be good if you look for their relevant publication in the Google Scholar, in the Science Direct, in Scopus. Actually, you can have a look some relevant paper and download them, read them, and explore more basically to know about the supervisor, his style of work, his level of work, quality of the work, each and every detail that you need to prepare a draft proposal. I also would strongly suggest that please download 2 to 3 review papers, because normally proposal submission, you will not have enough time, sometimes maybe 1 week, sometimes maybe 15 days. So if you download few relevant papers, actually it will save you time. This also will be very good for you, because review papers are summary of 200 papers, 300 papers actually summarized on the specific topics. So it will help you also to understand that topics, because it is not an easy to read 200 papers, 300 papers within a week or 15 days. So basically this review paper will be very good help, good strong support for you to understand the topics, also a summary of the content, and also it will improve your knowledge. So once you have this, now you can start with the draft proposal. Once draft proposal is prepared based on my guidelines, I'm going to talk. So then start to discuss with, again, supervisor, send the documents, draft documents, get some feedback and improve it further and further as much as possible. And so maybe supervisor has some other team members, students, postdoc, also start to communicate with them, start to discuss with them also. I think it is always better to discuss with his team member if possible, because supervisors are normally sometimes very busy, so he or she may not reply timely. So in that case, I think if there are postdoctoral students, other PhD and master students, if you can start communicating, also you can request if you can engage me with your students or postdoc, it will be very, very good. Okay, and also always check the content similarity. So don't just simply copy and paste using Turnitin software or Authenticate software. So here topic is important. So certainly the supervisor will give the topics, but in my view, to make a better topics, to tune the topics, to improve it further, I think it will be good if you explore my video on YouTube channel, how to select high impact research topics. So this is really an impressive document. So impressive video. So if you explore more, certainly this will not be good only for writing this proposal to identify or to highlight hot topics, niche area, global grand challenges. I think it also will be good for your future long-term research goal, because topic is very important for high impact research. This is basically the most important elements of this video. So what are actually the how the proposal looks like, what is the structure, or what are the main elements actually need to be included in an admission proposal. And sometimes these proposals are not that important, but sometimes it is also important because some supervisor researcher maybe will look this as for admission purpose. But in some cases, for example, you are looking for scholarship, full funding. In that case, it may go through evaluation panel at the university level, at the school level, at the faculty level. So there may be different steps. So in that case, this proposal is very important, because they will check and verify how strong, how strong you are on that specific topic. So in that case, it is very, very important. So at least some of the basic things need to be included in the admission proposal. So these are basically the main or most important elements based on my experience, as I have supervised many students also apply under me when I was in University of Malaya, and also here now we have our new PhD program. So we are offering the students, so they also write this admission proposal. So we know what are actually the basic things, important things. So based on that, I have highlighted these few things. So title is one of the important thing, title, topic. So this one also I will highlight in the subsequent slide. So panel member will be looking for title. What are the types of the projects? What is the titles look like? And this is again, as I mentioned, in consultation with the supervisor. There should be also some background information highlighting what is the importance, some literature study. Okay, some objectives also should be there. So if you basically put this background information, and also the application should be there. So with these elements, actually, it will make your background information very, very strong, comprehensive. At least up to the admission level, this will be more than enough. And another important element is actually the research methodology, how you are going to conduct your research. So I'll be discussing a little bit more on this. And also, if possible, some expected results, outcome also should be highlighted, what you are going to produce from this result. It will be good. So let me start with the title. Actually, title should be attractive and appealing. So it should not be too long. It should not contain a lot of mathematical jargon. Okay, so you know that the panel members, by seeing the title, actually can understand the topics. Maybe it is global grand challenge area. It is interesting topics. It is also niche area. So this will basically impress the panel members. So that should be actually, you have to keep in your mind that this title may appeal, may attract, may convince the panel members. So that's why mathematical jargon, abbreviations, too technical things should not be there. Okay, it also should be short and precise. So as you can see, I have provided here 3 titles to give you an example, so that these are not too long, also not too short. Okay, and it reflects the content. So these are basic few things actually should be in the title, so that panel members, you know, because in the panel members, sometimes they are not exactly in your specific area. So in that case, if you put so much technical things and it's only understood by your supervisor and student, actually the panel member may not feel it is attractive. So that's why you see these are, if you write this way, okay, so based on my experience, because I am panel member in different different processes, different evaluation activities, so I have some experience. So based on that, I strongly feel that if you write the title something like this, with this example, for example, energy storage with emerging nanomaterials, you see, it's not too long, it's not too short, it is precise, and also it is understood. It will be understood by most of the panel members, in my view. Okay, heat transfer performance improvement with the nanofluids in solar collector, synthesis of graphene-based nanocomposite for heat transfer application. Okay, these are just few examples I have provided here. Okay, so to write actually the comprehensive title, not only for this proposal, for your better thesis, for your paper, I think I have a video also there, so you can explore more to get more insight, more information on how to write a good title. But I think for writing a title for the admission purpose, if you keep these few things, I think that will be more than enough, because you may not have enough time to prepare the admission proposal. Okay, so then another important element is the background information, or sometimes it's also called executive summary or abstract, some summary of your proposal. Okay, so this should be here. So background information is basically the why this area is important, importance of the work. Okay, so importance of the topics in short, brief paragraph. So you are not writing a paper, you are not writing a thesis. So this is a proposal. So I think one paragraph will be more than enough in this case to highlight actually one aspect of this background is called importance of the topics. Okay, by studying some literature with some statistics, with some data, try to highlight that this topic is really important. Many other researchers are working. Some papers are published in high impact journal, many top world-class researchers working in this area. Okay, these are the market value. These are some of the statistics in the form of tables and figures, maybe one table, one figures. You can highlight that some of the important work is going on in this area. And also in the background information, there should have some literature review. That is what I call the critical review of literature. So since time is limited and it is also admission proposal, so you may not be able to make that strong critical literature, but at least there should have some literature review. Is basically who has done what on the specific topics. Okay, what are some of the strengths, what are some of the weaknesses. Okay, so that you also can at the end identify that these are some of the things has not been done, and this will be my focus. Okay, and it also should be latest, relevant, reflect the contents, and so on. And particularly how to address critical review of literature. If you want to dig out more, if you want to understand more about the critical review of literature, again, I have video on my YouTube channel on how to write high impact review paper. Okay, so there basically I have extensively discussed on how to address this critical review of literature. And in some of the other videos also, how to address novelties also I have highlighted. So please go through all those videos for more details. Actually, in the background information, along with the importance, some figures, tables, critical review or support, there should have some application, okay? As you have seen in my previous title here, as you can see, this will be applied in solar collector, okay, in heat transfer application. So if you provide application, I think that will be much more stronger. And these are also the information actually the panel members are looking for, where this fundamental work, basic work will be applied. For example, to improve the performance of heat transfer performance of solar panel, PV panel, okay? So it will be improved to improve the energy storage behavior of lithium-ion battery, for example. Okay, so with the specific application, this will actually impress the panel members. Okay, so that's why application is always important. So here again, limit the page number because these are sometimes 1 page, 2 page, so you don't need to write so long proposal. Okay, so in that case also 1 single page or 2 double page limit if you put there in this background information. Then why? Because if you write too long proposal, actually sometimes panel members are busy. Based on my experience, okay, so panel members normally don't have much time, so to read sometimes in some cases, even though some panel members dig out more and more, but in most cases actually they may not have enough time to go and read each and every detail. So that's why short, precise documents are really very, very important. Okay, so in that case, it will be convenient for the panel members also to read. Okay, and also it is good for you also to write a short, simplified version, because longer version also will take a lot of time. You need to revise, you need to prepare. So normally, simplified version is much more better. Again, here, please don't copy and paste. So this is a bad practice. Based on our experience, we have seen sometimes proposals are just copy and paste. Figures, tables are taken without references. Okay, just copy and paste. So this will reflect that because they also have the tools to check the content similarities using Turnitin, Authenticate, and any other software. Okay, so this will give a very bad impression that the students are not serious, sincere. Maybe the student is lazy. So as a result, you may not get the opportunities. Okay. So objectives also should be part of this background information, or it can be separately also, and even after titles also it can be, because this is important thing. So title and then objectives, methodology, and some background information. So if we look for proposal, actually we will be looking for the objectives, because these are aims, purpose, goals. So what you are going to do for your next 2 to 3 years for your research proposal. So these are called SMART objectives. Actually, it should be specific, measurable, attainable, result-oriented, timely, okay, with some action bar. So these are actually the in details I have explained in how to write research grant proposal. Also how to write original paper with better impact. So in my video, actually, how to write this objectives, so with examples, with Bloom's taxonomy, level, breadth, depth. Okay, so to make it clear, starting with the action bar, and also I have given some examples. So I'll not talk much here because the contents are already there. So to write actually SMART objectives, so please explore my videos also. But as long as you can address these SMART objectives with this, it should be specific, measurable, attainable, result-oriented, and timely. I think that will be very good for you to impress the panel members and supervisors as well. So this is actually one of the most important element. What method you are going to use to produce your data, to generate your data, basically to address the question of how data will be generated, collected. Okay, so it can be your work can be experimental, it can be numerical, it can be computational, it can be modeling, it can be simulation, it can be survey work, it can be field work. Okay, so it can be theoretical work, theoretical framework. So how you are going to generate the data? okay, to support your work. Again, this also should be aligned with your objectives. This is very important. So when you have 3 or 4 objectives, now you develop your methodology based on your stated objectives. So again, this is also how to align, how to keep the flow of the materials, how to write methodology for experimental work, computational work, numerical work, with each and every details also I have explained in some of the videos. Explore a little bit more there if you want to go there. So these are basically the methodologies to produce the data. Then what you need, you also need equipment, computational tools, for example, Transys, NCs, COMSOL. So highlight that software also, and what are the necessary equipments there. So that's why initially I mentioned, start to communicate with the supervisor. So supervisor also can help you, other team members also can help you, that these are actually, again, if not possible also, I think if they don't give you all those information, that's the reason also you will explore their paper where they publish. So you can see that in the published paper, actually the list of equipments are there, details of the equipments are there, computational tools are there. So that's why homework, your plan, preparation, exploring their profile is very, very important, okay? To, in case supervisors are very busy, they are not giving you enough information, this also will reflect that you are very serious, sincere, proactive, okay? This also will give an impression that, oh, the student has done really the homework. So he really has explored my profile, our university, what paper we publish. So this will show that this student is really very serious. This will give a very, very, very strong impression on you. Okay, so necessary equipment, computational tools, each and every details as much as possible, that these are the equipments, okay, will be used to produce these data, okay, these parameters, okay. So again, design of experiment, you studied the literature and you studied their paper. Through that paper, actually, they also will give maybe sometimes the draft proposal also they can send. In some cases, they also send, and their team members can give you some rough idea, and based on that, actually you can come out with what are the parameters that will be investigated, what are the important design parameters, okay. So input parameters, input variables, experimental parameters, okay. So these are the things you need to provide there to write a good research methodology. And also there should have project activities with the timeline. In the next slide, actually I'm going to give this example. And also if this is a funded project, so you can highlight also that this will be funded using this fundamental research grant scheme, or this is an industrial grant scheme, or it will be funded by the university scholarship. Okay, so this also will be a good point, if possible, if there are information available. Okay, and availability of the equipment, and if all the equipment, necessary equipments are there, I will highlight that to execute this project, to generate the data, all the necessary equipments available in the center under this supervisor. Okay, so then panel member will feel that all the necessary things are there, proposal is good, then it will be good for the panel members to approve the proposal. So this is an example of activities with the timeline. So we see that in a project, actually in your PhD project, in your master project, so these are, for example, 4 or 5 activities I have highlighted here. So let's say you will conduct literature and project planning. Okay, so start date and end date. So again, here also you should provide the smart approach. For example, the really you need 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Okay, don't put unrealistic time here also. Synthesis of materials. Okay, so here you provide some, this is one of the activities. Okay, you provide the start date and end date, and also always make realistic duration of time in this case. Okay, so elemental characterization, this is called the characterization. One of them is the synthesis, other is the investigation of the effect. Okay, project completion and future recommendation. Okay, so these are some of the examples, maybe some other examples, performance investigation. Okay, analysis of results. Okay, tuning the results, hybridization of the material. So all those activities you highlight here, and then also provide the realistic amount of time. So this is called project activities with the timeline. Okay, so if possible, also try to highlight that at the end of the projects or certain period of time, you will publish a paper in good quality journal or Q1 journal. Okay, you also will present in conference, seminars, maybe also highlight that since this is a novel idea, innovative idea, the content also will be filed as patent. Okay, so through this work also there will be novel, theory, model, and some good quality results, data will be produced. Those will be useful for different purposes. Okay. Of course, don't forget to provide the necessary references. Without references, again, it will be an unethical issue. So list the references appropriately. Okay, you don't need so much references. So 10 to 15 references will be more than enough. And in this case, maybe some of the references you take from your supervisor's papers. I think that will make a good impression that the student has read my paper or supervisor's papers. And certainly the supervisor will be very happy and impressed. This again will reflect that students is really very serious and proactive. Okay, so again, for more details, you can explore my YouTube channel. There are 15 videos with rich content based on my 25 years of experience. As I also highlighted, how to write effective title, how to write effective abstract, research grant proposal, how to write good high impact journal papers, review papers, and many other content. So there are 15 videos already there. Please explore, and also at the same time share with the scientific communities, with other researchers, so that they are also benefited from these videos. Okay, so our Sano University also is one of the good university. As you can see, according to Talent Bank, this is one of the #1 in graduate employability. Okay, so you please explore more about our Sano University, our engineering and technology program. Okay, thank you very much. So I hope this content will be useful. So again, you need to practice again and again. Practice makes a man perfect. Okay, so I wish you good luck, all the best, great success in your future career. With that, I would like to end my video today. Assalamu alaikum.